For decades, scientists have tried to mimic the giant energy force that powers the sun. The chemical reaction that creates heat and light is known as fusion, where billions of hydrogen atoms inside the sun collide at high speed, creating massive amounts of energy that radiate through space down to Earth. Today, the US believes it's taken a significant step to doing just that.
It's the first time it has ever been done in a laboratory. Simply put, this is one of the most impressive scientific feats of the 21st century.
Last week, scientists at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California did what no others have ever managed to achieve: fuse hydrogen atoms together, and in so doing create more energy than it took to start the reaction in the first place.
This milestone moves us one significant step closer to the possibility of zero carbon, abundant fusion energy powering our society.
And that's because the process of fusion creates none of the carbon pollutants produced by burning fossil fuels, nor the radioactive waste created by nuclear power plants. And here's how they did it. Scientists used a small metal capsule the size of a pencil rubber that contained frozen hydrogen. Then they fired beams from nearly 200 of the world's biggest and most powerful lasers directly at the capsule, heating it up to more than 5 million degrees Fahrenheit, and creating the reaction that caused the hydrogen to fuse and give off energy. But it was still only enough to power a light bulb for a very, very short amount of time. The challenge for scientists is to repeat the experiment on an industrial scale that could be used to power entire cities with clean energy in the future. Something the scientist in charge of the experiment acknowledged today.
There are very significant hurdles, not just in the science, but in technology. With concerted effort and investment, a few decades of research on the underlying technologies could put us in a position to build a power plant.
And that's the one downside, that as significant an engineering feat as this is, it won't help the world address the climate crisis in the short term. Clean energy from fusion is still decades away, while transportation and power stations need to switch to clean energy now. Climate change-wise, will be too late. But don't we need this type of technology now?
So I absolutely don't think innovation is too late. The private sector has brought in $5 billion of private investment. I expect that in the next 3 to 5 years, we will have a number of private startups that will exceed what was done today.
So the technology is still far from becoming mainstream, but that's not to underplay the significance of what's been achieved. That for the first time ever, scientists managed to mimic the power of the sun in a laboratory in California. And that, eventually, will have a profound implication for the planet and how we live our lives.